Man, people just need an authentic conversation. None of that fake stuff. You got to realize that there's no excuse for why you haven't achieved your level of success that you have in your mind, or what you think you deserve. There's no excuse. All you can do is try your best, and if your best isn't good enough, guess what? It is what it is. God has orchestrated every move in your life. So if it's not happening on your time, that's just what it is. It's not your time that life moves by. You didn't create this. Everything is operated on God's time. So when you frustrate yourself, you make yourself sick in regards to issues that are out of your hands, all you're doing is harming yourself. You gotta have what you call blind faith. You can't see it with your eyes, every move God's making for you. You can't see how every situation is all beneficial for you and your growth. You can't see all that unless you're deep in your relationship with God. And you understand even when things are wrong, there's always something right in it. Sometimes you have to just stop, look, and listen. There's a poem I learned when I was pledging Omega Psi Phi, when I was in college, and it was Wise Old Owl. And it goes, there once was a wise old bird who sat on the oak. The more he sat, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he learned. Now why can I be like that wise old bird? Sometimes that's all we need. We just need to be like that wise old bird. There once was a wise old owl who sat on an oak, like an oak tree. The more he sat, he realized the more he sat, the less he spoke. And the less he spoke, the more he learned. If you're doing all the talking and you're never listening, how will you ever learn what's going on around you? In order to listen, you have to stop talking. Every day we wake up, we strive for perfection. We just strive for perfection. Why? It's like a rush. It's being that competitor that was on the football field or on the basketball court, on the golf course. Whatever sport you played, that same competitor that was in you then should be the same competitor that lives inside you now. You might not be playing football, you might not be playing sports, but there's still another game in life. And it's called life. How are you playing your game of life? Are you a competitor? Are you going to keep on pushing? Even though you know there's a defense set up against you already. That's how a game is designed. You have a team, one team that is a positive team, that is trying to reach a goal, a touchdown. Then you have a team that brings negative energy, that tries to prevent that positive energy from reaching that goal, that touchdown. But when you have strategies in place and you have strategies in place and you practice those strategies and you study those strategies and you're consistent with those strategies, eventually a hole will open just so you could break through that thing. Just enough room, just enough space, because your ability is different from anyone else's. You can slide through the smallest hole and break it for a 100-yard touchdown. You aren't like everyone else. All you need is just that one small space in between that defense. You have a line. He knows exactly what you need. All you gotta do is just keep running that play. Run it over and over and over and over. You pick up that word and you study that word and get those plays, those different strategies. Just so you can be better. And when you're better, everyone else around you will see that. They'll see it in your walk. They'll see it in your talk. They'll see it in everything that you do. Everything you touch, they'll see it. Every place you go, they'll see it. Your light will shine so bright. You're a natural born leader. And you lead. You lead people to the vision that you have that's positive, that's uplifting. And that's what it is. We have this thing at my church that I adopted in my ministry. My pastor, he taught us vision. And vision was an acronym for visualizing, internalizing, strategizing, initiating, overcoming, and necessity. When he taught that lesson, I knew it was a jewel from God, because this was just helping me create a picture in my mind to see the big picture, my purpose that God had for me. You had to first dream that. It was a thought. It was a dream. It was real quick. But you visualized it. You saw it. Nobody else saw it. You saw it. And then you began to internalize it. But at the same time as you were internalizing it, you were doubting it. You said, nah, this is too much for me. God, this is way too much for me. I know you wouldn't want me to carry this mission out for you on your behalf. But once you internalized it, you strategized. You started to believe in that thing. You started to put together the plan. You started to pay attention to everything that was going on around you. You strategized that thing down to a science. Every place God put you in, you were looking for things to help benefit your vision. Whether it was something or someone, some place, you started to see that thing. Then after all that, you began to initiate. You started to act out on your vision, on your dream, on your purpose. You began to work that thing out physically. When you started to display your vision, your purpose in life, you had people come along and they doubted you. They hated on you. They try to tell you, man, nah, you should try something else. That's what they did. That's what they told you. You started to buy into it. You started to. But nah, it ain't work. You overcame. You had to overcome those obstacles. All those obstacles in your life that were trying to hold you back from reaching your purpose. You had to overcome them. We call them pitfalls. Little holes on the highway. You drive over it because you weren't observant. You didn't see it in time, and you hit that pothole and your tire popped. Man, that thing slowed you down. You failed to overcome it then. But when you hit that same highway again, and you knew, because this was a consistent route that you were taking, you knew where that pothole was going to be. So instead of running into that pothole, you switched lanes. You maneuvered. You had a strategy. You started to maneuver around that thing. It didn't matter how fast you were going, how slow you were going. You overcame. And now all you have is your purpose in life. You can't let a day go by without thinking about it. You eat this stuff. You breathe this stuff. This stuff called purpose. You eat it. When you brush your teeth, you're thinking about it. When you're at work, you're thinking about it. When you're tying your shoes, you're thinking about it. When you're looking at your kids, you're thinking about it. It's always on your mind. It's a necessity. Everyone needs to have this. It's unspeakable joy. Sometimes you do hit that pothole. You do fuss with your wife. You do argue with your girlfriend.